street food.
We have reached the midpoint of Season 7. Can you guys believe we're already halfway done with the season? Quick update on the sad badger. I mean, it took a while, but he peeked his little badger head out. And you know, he wasn't smiling, but he wasn't frowning either. By which I mean, there will be more episodes of Street Food Season 7. We're gonna hit some food trucks, get some more Chinese recipes. Season 7 lives! And you only have yourselves to thank, Street Foodies. You're watching, so I'm snacking. This week, I'm sticking close to home.
Today is the day after Thanksgiving, a day traditionally devoted to lounging around, doing nothing, actually, I think. Maybe family, maybe sports for some people.
Black Friday, you go shopping, because you give thanks for what you have and then you go buy more.
There is a church that's just down the road from where we're staying, and they have like a carnival.
I don't know how common little carnivals like this are in the rest of the United States, but in Florida, these things pass through all the time. I guess we've generally got the weather for it. In this case, it was 2 blocks from our house. $20 and the kids could ride everything all day. I'm talking Ferris wheel. I'm talking carousel. I'm talking fun slide. On the real, my kids wore that fun slide out. I'm talking about this spinny swing thing. This was always my favorite when I was a kid. Usually they go up higher in the air, but this one stayed close to the ground, and my girls loved it. They probably rode it 100 times. They had a pretty sweet bounce house. There was a little dragon roller coaster, jungle gym, the spinny thing. What do you call this? Like a tumbleweed or something? I mean, these rides are for little kids, but we have little kids, so it was perfect. It was not crowded at all. We had our pick of the rides. Brad got a snow cone.
It was better 50 years ago.
Now at a carnival like this, you got your standard snacks. Funnel cake, deep fried Oreos, deep fried Snickers, corn dogs. In this episode, we're going to the top of the list.
About to get the classic signature fair food.
Funnel cake. Funnel cake is a classic. You make a batter.
Old-fashioned. Funnel cake mix.
Funnel cake mix. You pour it in oil and deep fry it. You give it a flip. It's really greasy. Maybe they dry it off, maybe they don't, and then they dust it with powdered sugar. The result is a warm and crispy on the outside, spongy on the inside sweet treat. Now if you wait until it cools, it's just greasy and gross. You must eat it while it's hot. And even then, you need to eat it just in moderation. Too much and you get that deep fried feeling in your chest, you know, like you just wish you would go ahead and die. But you know, up until that point, it's enjoyable. Everyone's got a different deep fry tolerance. All in all, it was a pretty fun fair. Look, in this episode, we're talking about things kids love, and we're talking about deep fried stuff. So in the combined spirits of both of those things, check out this bonus recipe. These deep fried mushrooms are a favorite in my household. They're called jianmoku, which basically means salt and pepper mushrooms. Mushrooms aren't typically a kid favorite, but something about these make them winners every time. It's pretty simple. You wash some oyster mushrooms and tear them in strips. Oyster mushrooms aren't super common in the States, they're very common in my part of China. You soak them in water for 10 minutes. If you want them to like dissolve in your mouth, you can cook the mushrooms in some boiling water for a few minutes. Some recipes calls for that, but you can skip that step if you want to. I usually skip it. Just play around with it and see what kind of consistency you like. Dry the mushrooms off, then you make a simple batter. Egg, a little water, and some flour. Mix the mushrooms in with the batter, heat some oil in a pot, get it good and hot, and then deep fry the mushrooms for a few minutes. Basically, you want them to turn brown and crispy, but not burn. Just watch them. When they're ready, you take them out and you drain them on a paper towel. Now at this point, I add a little salt and I feed them to my daughters directly. If you want them to taste authentic though, you need this. It's called pepper salt. I don't know what's in it, but my guess is pepper and salt, although it has like a little bit of a sweet taste too. I don't know, maybe it's MSG, I don't know what's in it. You add this and some chili powder or chili flakes. And that's it. I know we don't typically eat oyster mushrooms in the West, but we do love to deep fry things. What's your favorite deep fried treat? Let me know in the comments below. Plus, leave me your thoughts on carnivals, mushrooms, Black Friday, whatever. Street food's taking a few weeks off, but the sad badger will be back before you know it. Until then, eat it on the street. Watch out for the parasites.
Street food.
One more quick note to all my street foodies out there. If you have a viewer mail question that you would like me to address in the viewer mail episode in a few weeks, go ahead and leave that in the comments to this video. Just put viewer mail question and I'll read it and you know, I'll answer it. If there's no questions, then I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, you know. But if you have some questions, I will view them and answer them. So just leave them in the comments. Y'all know how YouTube works. Just, you know, leave the thing.